Yeah, look, hang on. Is recording? Yeah, it's recording. Alright. So, earlier today, this video popped up in, in my feed. And I kind of wanted to talk about a topic that, is mentioned here or there by the likes of a lot of bigger YouTubers who take down social justice, but never really seem to get in depth, in my opinion. That, of course, being, the fact that just social justice in general can't do comedy. And kind of want to start this video off by saying it's just like whenever they do comedy, it's just boring. And I feel the reason for that is because social justice at its core doesn't want to be offensive at all, and comedy kind of needs that, otherwise you're freaking neutering it. You know? Comedy needs to be at someone else's expense. If I sit around and say, I don't know, stuff like, why did the chicken cross the road to get to the other side? That's not funny. For two reasons. One, because everyone's heard that already. And two, because it's freaking boring. As a matter of fact, that's the point of the joke. The point of the joke is that it's not funny. That's what makes that joke funny, because it's been so overused. But their social justice comedy doesn't seem to have that level of awareness. You know? And, So this video, as you can see, is titled I Don't See Race, yada yada yada. First off, what we say, or what we mean when we say I don't see race, is that I don't give a shit about race. That's all it means. Alright? Alright.
Man, there were so many incredible, super diverse movies last year.
Yeah. Diverse movies?
Yeah.
Were they good? Otherwise, I really don't care.
Yeah, like Moonlight or Lion, Hidden Figures and Fences, movies that didn't like just feature white people. Yeah.
So interesting. I never really...
You gotta love, hang on, this guy's face. It's just so, like, uptight, you know? Really like this, like, bourgeois talking down type thing. Just, Dude, what are you even doing with your face? No one in their right mind makes a face like that, like literally. Look like a moron.
So
Moving
interesting. I never really thought about that.
Really? Even after the
Yeah, because she probably doesn't care.
whole Oscars so white thing and all the articles written about it?
Call me crazy, but I...
Look, the Oscars could be made up of, like, nothing but black people, and you guys wouldn't care. There wouldn't be an Oscars so black thing. I want to point that out. Just as a little side tangent here. And, truth be told, I wouldn't care either. I don't care that the Oscars is quote-unquote so white. I don't care. I wouldn't care. No matter what. Just because a lot of actors just so happen to be of one race is no big deal.
just don't see race. I guess I'm just the least racist person here.
Okay. Race is like often like a pretty obvious thing to observe. It's not like racist to notice.
Well, yeah, it's not racist to notice that someone is of a certain race. Don't know why it is when we point that out about freaking, you know, that most of the time a shooter is black. That's racist when we say that, but... Well, then again, that's all because of cultural Marxism, isn't it? Moving on.
I had to laugh. Zach, My goodness, I only see one race.
Ugh.
The human race.
Such bullshit.
Yeah, but what's wrong with that statement, though? There is one race, the human race. You know, at the end of the day, you know, when we say that, it's a call for us all to get together. You know? Yeah, there was a time when it was the liberals spouting that. And it was the super conservative types against it. But, God.
You're only telling yourself that so you don't have to think about racism or confront your own prejudices.
No, I'm not prejudiced.
No, not true. How is me not caring about race, which is what I don't see race translates to, someone trying to hide prejudice? By definition, by saying that, they are saying, I don't care. Big whoop. How is that hiding a prejudice? Nobody cares.
Okay, I don't even judge Trap for being a woman.
I'm a man, Katie. You know that.
No, honestly, I just guessed. This is gonna sound nuts, but I...
See, and now it's trying to, like, get into this super absurd level. Just sort of making us look like idiots for just believing that, but whatever. And, you know, I thought gender was a social construct. So, yeah, that's just me, I guess.
I don't see gender and I don't see sex. I just see people.
You don't see how men and women look different?
No, I just see, like, shapeless blobs.
No, you guys see that. Look, I don't care what someone's gender or race or whatever is. And any sensible person out there doesn't. Unless a job for something would require it, I guess. Like, generally speaking, men do have better upper body strength, so that would be advantageous in jobs involving heavy lifting and shit. But other than stuff like that, nobody cares.
Walking around.
Okay, and if one of those shapeless blobs were pregnant, you would then know that it was a woman.
To me, it could...
Hey, quit spouting on about gender binaries. Thought there were hashtag 76 genders, although there's probably more like millions of genders. Yeah, okay.
just be like a heavy-set man who has like a big watermelon stomach. Okay? I just am so committed to equality. I'm just a good person.
Unless you're blind, you can tell that.
Like, it's just so amazing. Just how unaware it is. Like I mentioned earlier with the chicken in the road joke, how that joke was sort of self-aware because that was the point of the joke, that it's a shitty joke. Like, these guys don't even know what they're trying to do here. Like, do you not even... See, this is what happens when identity politics absolutely just consumes someone. You know, you get this just authoritarian mindset. And it's just, my God. Like, any person in their right mind just doesn't give a shit. Alright? Alright, yes, we can't literally not see race in the sense that, oh, hey, that's a black person over there. Well, big whoop. I don't care. That's what I don't see race is. It's when you see a black person, you're like, okay, whatever. You're not thinking, oh, I bet he just got back from freaking Thug Life shooting someone. You know? if I saw, say, a Muslim walking by too, I wouldn't sit around and think, he's probably a terrorist, isn't he? Well, then again, I'd probably have some suspicions if he was driving a truck of peace. You know, I'd be a little concerned there. Yeah.
People have inherent differences.
Oh, I wouldn't know if I was blind or not because I don't see disabilities. I'm not a monster.
So, if someone were in a wheelchair, you wouldn't be able to see the wheelchair.
This point is just asinine now. See, they're straw manning, and they think that's somehow funny. You know? And I guess on a side tangent, because I guess I haven't been criticizing it from a comedic standpoint enough, I feel like I've been going after the shitty identity politics. But you know, as I was saying earlier in this video, comedy is supposed to be offensive and just in general be at someone's expense. Otherwise, it's really not funny. You know? Like, look at Joan Rivers, for example. Freaking, that show, Fashion Police, oh my god. You know, I remember I used to have some social justice warrior friends. I mean, they're not anymore. They escaped that matrix. But, you know, they used to be just, oh my god, they hated Joan Rivers. They thought she was just horrible, like super mean. Here I was thinking, I don't care. Go ahead, make fun of that millionaire celebrity's dress. They kind of have it coming, all things considered. They're just so detached from reality. They dress in the stupidest ways. And then she would go on to point it out. It was just hilarious. Because it was at their expense. You know, you look at like Jerry Seinfeld, for example. You know, his whole show was about everybody being an asshole to each other. That was what the show Seinfeld was about. You know? You had frickin' what was his name? Costanza? Oh, man. You know, he was sitting around essentially being like the stereotypical Jew type. You know, somehow getting a ton of ladies, too. Despite the fact that he was just this fat nerd type guy. And then you had Kramer. Freaking love Kramer. Best character ever. Whose mother was a prostitute and yada yada yada. And the dude was just crazy. Like, that was his whole thing. And I remember this one episode where, Kramer wanted to create a perfume that smelled like the beach. And I know this is sounding like a little bit of... But trust me, I'm getting there. So he goes to pitch it to this dude, and this dude's all like, dude, I'd rather freaking bathe in a freaking manure farm or whatever. I mean, do you not realize that people take showers after they go home from the beach? It's disgusting. And he's like being a complete dick to Kramer. And it's just so hilarious. Because like all throughout the show, Kramer has like shitty ideas. But then the first time he has an idea that Seinfeld himself thinks could in theory work, he goes over there and gets that idea shat all over by that guy. And it just puts into perspective how shitty his other ideas are. If they couldn't even get past Seinfeld. And let's see, and then a few episodes later, of course, they were making a perfume that made you smell like the beach. Calvin Klein was. And Kramer got so mad. Oh my god. You know, and Also, Jerry Seinfeld, the comedian, anyway, he doesn't perform on college campuses anymore because of how sensitive you guys are. You know? You look at people like the best comedians ever, they're just assholes. And that's the point. You gotta be a bit of an asshole to succeed at comedy. You know? You gotta be able to make fun of someone or something. You know? Anyone can sit around and just... But like, whose expense is this at? Just people who are like freaking normal and don't freaking care about race? That's all that is. You know, I could go around making fun of normal people all the time. I can make fun of how boring they are and shit. But, jeez. You know? My point is, I guess, comedy has to offend on some level. Or at least be self-aware of how shitty it is and have that be the joke. You know, because there are plenty of, you know, comedians who do that. You know, at least like comedians like Gabriel Iglesias make fun of themselves. Unpopular opinion, I actually kind of like some of those guys. Not Amy Schumer, though. She sucks.
Have never seen a wheelchair.
Never seen a wheelchair.
I don't know what a wheelchair looks like.
If someone were in a wheelchair, you would not install a ramp in your building.
I would refuse.
What if someone was missing a limb?
It's perhaps tucked under their little butt.
If someone were deaf,
Talk to them as if they could hear.
why are you so proud of yourself?
Okay, well, here's a thought. Maybe you don't get it because you
Maybe you guys are the ones proud of yourselves. How's that?
have less experience on Earth than I do.
Experience? We're all older than you.
I'm sorry, but I don't see age.
Oh, come on. You're telling
Yeah, that's the one thing that I hate to break it to you, but sorry, that straw man is too egregious. I can't let it go. And I will simply say this. Fuck you, pedophiles. That's all I'm gonna say on the topic. Moving on.
me if there was an old woman and a baby, you wouldn't be able to tell which one's older?
One of them is called an old woman. It's in the name, Katie.
No, because I believe in equality, and I believe everyone is the same age.
That's not what equality means.
You have
Hey, someone actually got something right. But no, equality would be not discriminating based on age, alright? It's not being unable to tell what age someone is. Sorry, I keep messing with this thing. But it would be not discriminating against someone's age. You know? Like earlier with that video with Spino, that's what he was doing. He was sort of age baiting, I guess. Is my point. Jeez.
two older brothers. Can you at least acknowledge that?
Yes, and I believe both women are my same age.
Oh my God. What about your parents? How old were they when they had you?
I think they are both ageless and every age at the same time.
Jesus
Oh, like with you guys in gender. Okay, moving on.
Christ, Katie. What else can't you see?
Pretty much everything. Baldness, for example.
So Bruce Willis,
Is he bald?
he's famously bald.
I had
Didn't know there was discrimination against bald people as a demographic. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll make, fun of bald people all the time. Freaking chrome domes. But I didn't know you could be racist against bald people. Just gonna throw that out there.
no idea.
Katie, why are you doing this?
Hey, your straw man is behaving like a straw man, plain and simple. Moving on.
Guys, come on, okay? I just want to be able to do and say whatever I want, whenever I want, and I don't want to have to think about the world's problems.
Alright, so you want to be sheeple. No problem. What's wrong with that?
She sounds pretty good. I mean, I guess I
Actually,
can
might be,
understand that.
Good way to live.
Not really a good way to live, but it is a way in which you are allowed to live, I suppose. Read 1984.